Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW Dark Review for the 5th of October 2021. Again, matches run way too long. FTR Wardlow and Sean Spears defeat Baron Black, Austin Green, Aaron Fry, and Dean Alexander 7:02. Pinnacle match doesn't need to run this long. MJF isn't out there, and MJF is the center of the Pinnacle. Honestly, FTR, and MJF could get rid of the other two and be fine, and Tully Blanchard isn't there. Uh, uh, you know, to begin with. Green is a big guy, and uh, they could easily do more with him. He basically does a stare off with Wardlow, and Wardlow slams him into Oblivion, which is pretty impressive. FTR and Wardlow combined to give Fry combination big rig casualty of war, and Spears finishes him off with a C4. Good for the faction, but it doesn't really need to be here. Abaddon defeats Valentina Rossi, 154. Again, something that really doesn't honestly need to be here either. Rossi has 3 losses in the company and is in the start of a winning streak. Is no real danger here. Rossi lays in a couple forearms and acknowledges the crowd. Abaddon no sells them, takes her down with a neck breaker, and finishes her off with an inverted DDT rocker dropper type. Then we kind of the Abaddon character has never clicked with me and really doesn't have any long-term value. The Acclaimed defeat Michael Martinez and Very Morales. Very Morales is another enhancement talent back that doesn't need to be. Max Caster tries to run the ropes to catch Morales, but he crouched himself in a botched sort of position. Morales catches him with a top rope dropkick, and match is pretty well strong. The Acclaimed Anthony Bowens hits Morales with a twisting DDT, ties him up in the ropes, and Caster finishes him off. Martinez gets finished off with the mic drop. Sunny Kiss defeats Cal Hero, 140. Why even have guys get dressed for this? Hero gets absolutely no offense in the match. Kiss finishes him off with a TKO in a split finish in a total squash. Waste of time and energy, especially when the payoff is Joey Janela in a match that no one cares to see. Chris Statlander with Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta defeats Zelda Zandig, 3:30. Statlander gets a submission victory with a spider crab in a match where she gets a decent amount of energy, but nothing really out of it. Sky Blue defeats Medi with Rodreski. Blue makes a decent impression at the pay-per-view, at the last pay-per-view in the Battle Royal, and also has a decent match with Red Velvet before. And she's added to the Casino Battle Royal at All Out as mentioned, and she looks decent here. Get to win with a Fisherman Suplex. Eddie Kingston and Anthony Henry, if they're smart, they will sign Henry and get rid of some of the other deadweight talent. Henry is the former Asher Hale of NXT, and before that, he was an independent standout. He's also been, there's an interview with him on the channel if you're interested in it. Kingston and he know each other well. Henry catches Kingston in the corner with some interesting figure four dragon screw leg whip, and then puts Kingston's legs in figure four position and whips him back. Kingston drops to the floor. Henry follows, hitting a leg lariat. Kingston is nailed against the ropes. Kingston back in the ring. Henry gets a decent target, and Kingston's legs work them over with a leg lace, and Kingston powers out, chopping at Henry's chest, but then comes back. Henry hits kicks to Kingston's chest. Henry then goes for what looks like an Indian deathlock. Kingston comes back with some chops. Henry gets an advantage and then kicks the inside of Kingston's leg, and then gets the deathlock complete with the bridge, adds a little pressure with the bridge. Kingston charges at Henry, who catches him with a boot. Henry then goes to the top rope and comes back with a body block, but Kingston catches him with an explosive suplex. Both guys exchange chops and forearms, and Kingston wins Battle Royal with a series of chops and belly-to-back suplex for a near fall. Kingston goes for the backhand, but Henry ducks and gets a kick for a near fall. Henry then goes for a crossface and transitions into an ankle lock. Henry adds a knee bar and an ankle lock, but Kingston makes it to the ropes after the flurry from Henry. Kingston catches him with a DDT and gets a pin. Best match of the show, and probably best match on one of these YouTube shows in a while. Gun Club defeats Hunter Knott and Rosario Goro and Cameron Stewart, 444. Absolutely no reason for this to be here. Billy and Austin Gunn team getting in the top 5 as a potential tag team title shot. I still would enjoy them more than the Lucha Brothers, but not by a heck of a lot. Anyway, Austin rolls up not to win in a match that didn't need to be here. Diamante defeats Santana Garrett. Poor Santana Garrett. Set up with an angle during the opening of last week's show. Garrett gets a total of a little bit of enhancement talent entrance, and she's another drop from NXT and a former WoW Women's Champion. And Diamante wins after hitting the sliced bread. Diamante wins. That is wrong for business. Anyway, we move to in a series of matches that goes on way too long. Varsity Blondes with Julia Hart defeats Ryan Nemeth and Peter Avalon with JD Drake and Caesar Bononi. Why in the world are Drake and Drake and Nemeth with these losers? Anyway, match is fine, I guess, but the announcers ignore it for the most part. Garrison sells for the majority of the match, and then we kind of go into some rolling forearms. Pillman flies from the other side with the air Pillman, leading to Garrison getting the pin for his team. Pillman's obviously the star of the team, but they're not treating him like it. Daniel Garcia with 2.0 defeats Eric Lockhart 231. Why even have him get ready for this? Garcia gets the win in dominant fashion. Scorpion Deathlock and looks fine, but there's no real need for it. Marco Stunt has AEW 18 wins. That means there's 18 times that a child who probably can't ride half of the rides at Disney, in fact, is on television or on YouTube. Anyway, match is a useless piece of trash, to be completely honest. Luther doesn't need to be here. Luther does a bunch of screaming. Serpentico is good, but being teamed with Luther does nothing for him. Smack off the top rope with a splash, and Serpentico misses. Stunt goes for a gut wrench suplex. Stunt does a tope through the second and third ropes to the floor. Fight on the floor. Luther grabs Serpentico, throws him off the entrance stage into Stunt, misses. Back in the ring, Stunt hits a lariat for near fall. Stunt then goes for the sliced bread. Didn't we already see one of those? And Serpentico avoids it. Serpentico's distracted by the referee. Luther lays in a shot on Stunt's ribs. Serpentico then rolls him up for the upset win. Maybe Stunt is going somewhere, not here. Anyway, so then Orange Cassidy with Best Friends and Chris Statlander defeats Nick Canamaro with QT Marshall and Aaron Solo, 725. I like Aaron Cassidy. Canamaro does nothing for me. Excalibur keeps putting over Cassidy's number one contender in AEW, which might mean a TV championship match or a match with Kenny Omega, and maybe that's Full Gear. Everyone comes out for Cassidy, but Statlander doesn't get the same treatment. Kind of weird. Cassidy does his basic routine, does a delayed suplex. Kanemaru keeps trying to get powerbomb, but Cassidy keeps finding ways to get free. Cassidy then goes for the beach break, but Kanemaru overpowers him. Kanemaru then goes for a powerbomb again, but Cassidy counters with a Rana and DDT for near fall. Goes for the orange punch, but Kanemaru catches him. Cassidy then comes back to the top, cross body, but Kanemaru catches him with a power slam for another near fall. And then Cassidy maneuvers Kanemaru to the floor and then follows up through a plancha. Fight breaks out between Kanemaru and best friends on the floor. Marshall then tries to sneak in and attack Cassidy, but Trailblazer throws him a knee brace. Aubrey Edwards turns him around and Sarah Marshall with a knee brace and assumed shenanigans. Edwards and Marshall argue over the confusion. Cassidy hits the arm punch and gets the beach break pin. Finish is trash. Not a bad show, but too many short matches that didn't need to be here, and some talent that just why. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.